We're going to look at Banyana. They beat DRC 2-0 to go through to the next round of the Olympic qualifiers. In my opinion, this is the most important team in the country. This is the most important national team in the country. They win, they play, they do everything. But it seems as though fans weren't there. And I want to have conversations around that, a bigger conversation with the next panel about, guys, we've just watched what happened with the Springboks. And we just watched the support and all of that stuff. What does Banyana, WAFCON champions, World Cup participants, went further than any national team has gone in any competition for football that we have? What do they have to do to be loved? They're about to qualify for the Olympics. You know, if Bafana is about to go into AFCON, what do they have to do to be loved, noticed, supported? That's what I want to speak about in the next segment. So, guys, we can request and then we can speak about it. The last segment, of course, is going to be speaking about Ballon d'Or. Velile. I've watched Springboks, man, over the past few weeks. I've watched the commitment that we had to the Springboks. Today, Train came out and said, guys, we're gonna let you ride for free. Man, you're welcome, I'm Springboks. As long as you're wearing Springbok jersey, you're gonna get in and you're gonna ride for free. I've watched the advertising and all of that stuff. Banyana, what do they have to do in order to be respected half as much, maybe not even as full? And I'm full of Bafana. Now I want to buy a win.
Inzima le mntaka baba, inzima kakhulu, because if you look at Bafana, Banyana, I mean, they are suffering the consequences of just belonging under ISAF. If maybe I can try to make it simple, if let's say if you are a politician, who if you will see, for example, the ruling party, you've got ANC Youth League, you've got Women's League, and then you've got Abo SASCO, which are responsible for student organization on the universities. But if you look at a tragedy like now that's happening in all the universities, people are rejecting SASCO, but not because there is no leader with SASCO who can seriously represent their needs, but no, they're just rejecting the mother body, which is the ANC at the top, which is the ruling part. So here, we know our fight in most cases is against the SAF hierarchy, which is the politicians about Jordaan and his crew that are there. So, because now that's why I'm just saying Banyana, they're just suffering because of that. ISAF has been operated by politicians, people who have been there for I don't know for how long. And if you look at the methods operandi that they use in terms of the rules that they put out there to prevent people to participate, even Nagosapa, even the ex-soccer players, my legend, they don't want them to participate. Imagine if you're going to tell Lucas Radebe to be a member of a small Lanyana Safa structure, to start there for 5 years before recognize it doesn't work. Why, if you look at Springboks, they are not just run by politicians, but they're mostly run by business people who invest in Gugusaru and also make sure they invest in infrastructure, where like say those models schools as Nama infrastructure rugby and all those people. Those people are, what do they want for the sports? They want what's the best for the sports, not for interest bonus for the security. Because if you can look what for his Jordaan since Alap, what is it that has he achieved that he can show? Only a scandal to go to World Cup, so that's why people they just don't want to be associated with that. They just rejected the mother body suffer, and unfortunately, Banyana now they have to suffer the consequences, but not because they are bad, but just because of the situation about Gosoji.
Is it about winning? Because I see a comment here that says Springboks are world champions and all of that. And I think that's why I phrased it as maybe half nekota of the love. Is it about winning? Does it matter?
No, put winning aside, because if we have to be, because this card, we do understand the progress that is made. Because if you look at the rugby, before even they win those World Cup, they put us. We knew that team that was playing World Cup, it was prepared for 2019, if I'm not mistaken, that previous World Cup. When they went there with Urasi, they were not like a complete team. They were even them. They were saying, "Good to know, with this team, we are preparing for 2023 World Cup, not 2019. But we're gonna just try our best and put the best team here and representing South Africa." But unfortunately, they won it that one. That's why you see most of them, like I can say 90% of those guys, they are still there. Because they were with the previous World Cup, they were preparing for this one. And if you look, Magpies, Guhanju along the way, they are not winning all the game. They are sometimes been beaten by a weaker side, Motsepe, and they're not supposed to. But you understand the vision that has been installed on us, guys. We are preparing for the World Cup, and there's communication there. This is where we are going. This is our next step. We're going to play this, and we're going to choose this team. You'll hear the rugby coach explaining to you, I'm going to choose this team because I'm not going to use this player. These players are part of Spring, but I'm not going to use this player and this player because now I want to see on this one. And the communication here, it's more clear, even you understand it as compared to ASAFA. So that's why it is not about just winning, but also about the structure and the preparedness of the people who are running the organization and the clear communication to the public, the people that they represent. So that's why it's easier for them just to buy. Now you buy into whether you support this Springbok, but when they're there, you buy into the idea. There are so many people who don't even watch rugby, but I can tell you, even now, World Cup, uminya ungazi ukuthi uminya, you don't even know the foul yakho uminyile. You see, so it's because you just bought into the idea of the Springbok playing in the World Cup and you have to win. So it's about just them. They are selling it better than this after. That's why.
Stepfather, how are you?
Right, Bafambanja.
No, right. Na team man, team ya winner. Iwina ama trophy yakuma World Cup. Nagu they almost qualifying for ama Olympics. But it doesn't seem like man konutando for the team. And when you look at our Springboks and you see everything that's been done around there, why lama team wethu, especially Banyana, ngifuna nokhuluma ngebafana. Ibanyana, why don't they have the love and support?
I feel like there's a sabotage. Banyana especially because why play them on a Monday during the day on a Monday? I mean, and we don't even know what Banyana is playing it. Most of the times, Banyana. We just see what Banyana. And over some time, people want to say, okay, let me just watch because it's available. Even if I want to buy 800, but then Ubana Zobo on Monday during the day on Monday. Ubazo we Monday. And two, I feel what in South Africa once we win a AFCON, then it's because the same happened to Bafana. After you won AFCON, then ila sakala kona say so not good as sena talent, it's not talent, but then say so. The same is happening to Banyana. Which is Bonabanengan. They still go to World Cup and not what. But the same is happening to Banyana because if you can see now Banyana, it's no longer Banyana that played with AFCON. But then I'm talking about that because by forced. Because there's no the players from Bafana they get money from Amatima, but they don't care. So these girls they still want to play and go overseas and then Bazamim then because I find Naguti when I play for Pirate and then no manganga Bafana because we're so the Israel we Pirates. But then there's a sabotage somewhere somehow like South Africa our national team have to fail. And it's working for those people who are doing that. My wish was to happen if there was just a businessman somewhere in a mall like Motsepe so. Ibafana in Banyana, besuso we suffer, bezmele. Then you will see what is not for South Africa because then they suffer it's a scam. Not because that's not Ebola, but then Lavanavan Petty, Agbona Ebola.
Okay. Let me go to Kuma. Kuma, welcome to the show, my brother. Oh, you already on. Why am I saying welcome? Tell me, Why is there no love for this team, man? This team, fine, they haven't won a World Cup and all of that stuff, but they've won their WAFCONs. They represented us well at the World Cup. They're now going to go to the Olympics. Why is it that, man, there's no fanfare around this team or any knowledge about what they're doing? Why do people not care?
We do care, and there is love for Banyana. But the problem with most of female sports, especially it has an equivalent to the male sports, they are not really supported. Like, for instance, look at the Springboks. We love the Springboks, ne? But the female Springboks, who knows about them? The under-supported as the Springboks are. So, Banyana, we love and marketing. It's not, the love doesn't come from the associations, mainly SAFA. Ne? They have to fight with SAFA for bonuses. The marketing around Banyana, it's not there. I only learned that they were playing against Congo on Twitter. And after the fact, they played the game. And also, we don't see enough live games, if including the Hollywood bets, on television. I agree. ETV now open view, maybe because of but again, not ANC, SABC cannot show live games all the time. Maybe it should swap.
But it show it's Hollywood bets. But it show they don't show anything else. Saturdays at 3:00, it's Hollywood bets. They don't show anything else. They don't have rights to anything else like that. So literally every weekend, go Hollywood bets.
But only 2 games. What about the other games? I agree we know when JVC plays, we're going to see them. When Sundowns plays, we're going to see them. What about TUT ladies? If they're playing another week aside?
Badala, what TUT, badala ko SABC 1.
But not all the games. Okay, maybe
not all the games, but it's live every weekend.
Yeah, but I want to go to like the MDC. We see more games than Zamalek compared to you know. That's what I'm saying. So I wonder if they had exposure and they had a brilliant marketing team, Springbok, because of out of all the national teams, in the Springbok that are doing well, they're even doing well than cricket, because cricket doesn't win any world tournaments. So sharp, because the love is there, man. Like, personally, I would support, even when they play home, they play Kobotsakane, where we can even access them. Almost giant and stuff. So it's a lot of things, man. It's a lot of things. Orlando. What about them, like from Pretoria North, bruh? It's far. Yeah, so like then I understand it's gonna be costly, Mara. I believe like if it's gonna be like cost shouldn't matter for national team.
Yes.
Even if they play with Venda, the government should make provisions for them, because I guess they're trying to grow its support base. The Pretoria, but again, Joe can have everything, bruh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me bring it to Lange. Why is this Banyana team not supported and loved, man, the way that they should be, you know? I look at the Springboks, and not to compare, because like people are saying it's a World Cup or whatever, but they're winners. They're a winning national team, Mara. Nothing, Tololo.
Hey, bengafuna ukungena kule topic, but ngenxa yokuthi ngiphikisana nani ngize ngangena ngoba angikholwa ukuthi siyabasupport. Uyakhumbula nje ngesikhathi kwi-World Cup manje sibabuka kusukela the first game bekuma-group stages, sababuka besibasupporta baze kwaba yi-last game bebekuyo behlangana ngabo. Awucabanga ukuthi besohlangana, cabanga ukuthi besohlangana kanjani ukube bawin World Cup? We would be crazy right now. But ama-Springboks, like umubuka ama-Springboks, mhlawumbe bakhava ukuthi ade kudlala ama-Springboks. Ama-Springboks siqala ukuwabuka after the group stages, like besingawabuki, besiwabukela kude ukuthi hayi bayawina, you see. So I think we are comparing unrealistic things, and sesikhohliwe ukuthi sibasupport kanganani, bacover ukuthi bewina kankana nama-Springboks sibuye ukuwina yabo. And kunale kade kunama-post ku-Facebook, there were posts on Facebook. They were showing 3 teams ukuthi we have 3 national teams kahle kahle. Banyana, Springboks and cricket. Laba abanye asibazi.
Okay. Let me go. Velile, I have a theory. Guti, another big problem is the marketing. I'm a Springboks, you couldn't escape them. You couldn't, you could switch off your TV, or a phone, Maramau checkers, all the cashiers were called Springboks. There was Bekalama PSL games. I remember PSL games were starting Bafagi Grafike, Yama Springboks. How much of that plays into the love of a team? Because as people saying Banyana, most of the time you don't even know what Badalani. Never fun on that point. Never fun. How much does that play into how we view a national team?
It plays a lot kakhulu when I'm talking about, because, for example, Banyana were playing at the World Cup. And do you know how did they come back?
But funny enough, they came back in the middle of the night. Baba Splitile, they made them two and they bring them in the middle of the night.
Yeah. And then do you call that a team? The people who are running Banyana, do you see, they don't even give them enough respect. Those people, even by the time Babu World Cup, they went to the second round, they've achieved something. They should have come back together, being celebrated now. Like they were telling us here Orlando Airport to celebrate any South African team, whether they've won or not, but just because they were there to represent South Africa and the national flag. You were supposed to gather there also to welcome them back. But no, the Baba Sneaky with 2 playing. How about you don't even know how to go to the people, they don't even aware good babu yid. Like corner like imagine. And when if you go to rugby, remember Springbok. That's the commercial side of it. They really treat like the Springbok emblem and the Springbok brand as professional, because you remember it. We know those players, they've got long-term contract with the Springbok national team. They're not about negotiate about bonus every match they play. No, they've got permanent contract. It's a Springbok player. We know Usia is a Springbok. That's why even when they play Blue Bulls or Lions or what, we know the Springboks were not there. You see, on their team, they are called Springbok. They already they're brand, but also besides ukukhala kakhulu when I'm talking about nathi nje kahle kahle if sesiyahleba.
I wanted to ask.
Sesiyahleba ke nathi bantu abamnyama ake sizindukena amakhwapha.
I wanted to ask, yes.
Ake sizindukena amakhwapha, because yes, Springbok isabantu abamhlophe, yes, South Africa, but we know the people who are running that organization and the players and the investment that they put into rugby as a sports, or whether it's cricket or sometimes Olympics. Nathi abantu abamnyama, we had, besides Motsepe, I think we do have abantu abamnyama who also got business in South Africa, who invested a lot, who are shareholders even on the big banks, people who get dividends on billion. We read about them every day. Surely it cannot be ubaba Motsepe kuphela ukuthi uyokumela afake imali makuthiwa Banyana idinga lokumele gijime yena abuye i-second division idinga imali kunamali lana, he will come and bail out everything. Ake siyinukena amakhwapha nathi and stop celebrating success yethu ngotshwala kuphela nokwenzani. Kepha nje sike sizame sifakeni imali nathi ekuthuthukiseni zonke lezi zenzakalayo, because sometimes we even fail to just buy ama-Cox wengcoso oyibonayo ese-next door naku ukuthi idlala ibhola yazabo kodwa ayinani, but we fail to do that.
But besides that, yazi vele mina, I always cry about this. Siyawabona ama-TV ama-ofisini wethu. Makudlala i-rugby, lawo ma-TV is not switched on by Saru. It's not switched on by khona uamangmang utanis banbani abalayite lawo ma-TV. Tina siyawayenza, do we do those things in the spaces where we say Guti, Banyana Banyana Bafana Bafana, whoever, we are also gonna take, like for example, I don't normally watch women's football or stream it live. But I try to make sure Guti, when Banyana Banyana was playing in the World Cup, let's play the games. Let's wake up at 2 o'clock and I'll sit here. Don't we also have to take responsibility for these things to say, yazini guys, mabathi Box Friday, ngifakela le bafana bafana ubanyana banyana. Mabathi, you get what I mean? Shouldn't we take responsibility as abantu?
We can, but elethu izwi manje akake lezwakale kakhulu because remember currently now we are not yet the captains of industry. It's only the few of us. While if in most cases it comes up with them, when they say if you want to open can say this Box Friday and manage to buy a t-shirt for all the shop and staff countries in the country, and the same thing that's Pick n Pay benza kanjalo. Uyayibona ukuthi ibuye isicindezele thina futhi isibuyisele move. But if besingazama, let's say masingathi elokishini or ey'koleni singabo-teachers sithi okay, it's Box Friday, singathola kanjani iy'kipa like the replica are cheap but who are sort of like ibafana bafana like the World Cup, remember like the South African World Cup, get the cheapest replica. It's up to us nakhona. It's just ukuthi izwi elizwakala kakhulu elikabani kodwa if not njengoba ngisho ukuthi isizwe simnyama, if we can be out there and also try not and put money there and put word out there whether ibafana bafana iyadlala, and also yoba isafa abantu abamnyama bakithi and nabo I've told you communication yesafa is too poor. Like now we know, you know which are the tests that are coming away. You know which tests are coming currently much, but we didn't know what Banyana. So do you see it already? Communication it's very poor. And what said, you look at the SAFA CEO, is the person who was with the girls there. Young Ton, is the person who was with the girls Banyana was playing. We thought maybe and then she will contribute at least to the development of the girls and also be there for the girls. But because now he has just been co-opted into this cabal of the politician, and each and every time when she speaks, she will speak like defending all about the Jordaan and all the other people instead of like coming out and also fighting for the girls. So if communication will be better kakhulu mntakababa, nathi abantu nathi nje simnyama asizameni okusemandleni wethu to try and also support senza njani bafowethu.
Okay.
Akunamuntu ozosenzela ngaphandle kokuthi sizenzele.
Let me bring in Clara. Clara, hey, we've had these conversations with Rishabani Motaung Mona at 2 o'clock in the morning. Banyana's playing. Hey, what do you think is the problem with us loving Banyana?
Mr. OT, hi. You triggered me when you spoke about the screens at offices. Yeah, I was one of those people that when the announcement of Boke Friday came out, I bought another national team's t-shirt because I was just pissed because we had I think 2 World Cups that had happened and nothing was said, right? And when the Springboks came up, before they could even start the World Cup, there was already that communication, and you could see that it's in your face. You can't really ignore it. But I think with Banyana, the problems are many. And the more we don't get involved as the community, the deeper the problems will be. And I think right now, someone said Banyana Baninkani, right? Like they win and they perform well despite the limitations, despite the mismanagement and whatever the administration or the association is doing or not doing rather. But I think in as far as whether the sport will improve or not, it's heavily dependent on our involvement. It really doesn't help for us to jump on the rugby euphoria. It's a good thing that they have going, And we should support them when they are going to, international tournaments. However, like it's already said, football in our country is predominantly a black culture thing. And if we sit back and allow it to continue to deteriorate, we only have ourselves to blame. Because at some point, the story of investments and our past and how that contributes into rugby being where it is and football being where it is going to start to fall away. Because now when you look at the administration currently with Banyana, there's a conversation about how retirements are being handled, right? There's the whole conversation about Janine, there's the whole conversation about how Nyandeni has not been able to get her 150th cap. It's those type of things that, because they are happening behind closed doors and the public really doesn't say anything about it, they'll continue to happen. I mean, with Kaizer Chiefs, we all know if the horrible coaching decisions continue, bottles will be thrown. But with your Banyana, if things happen, nothing is said really. Instead, they get attacked. Bafana, I think Hugo Bros went to the media recently and was complaining that there's a standoff between the association and the players because the players have been playing without being paid. And these are the things that we don't talk about. We often just jump to they're not winning, they're not performing, which also is not true. It was true maybe at some point, but in recent time, both teams are performing. Are they winning World Cups? I know they're not. But also the conversation does not start at are they winning World Cups? World Cup winning teams are made. They don't just show up and win World Cups. So if we don't build it, unfortunately, we are not going to win these things.
Okay. I'm gonna come back. Clara. Pratemba, welcome to the show. How are you, Pratemba? No, ngikren, Pratemba, ngikren. Naindaba, Pratemba, naindaba. As somebody who is in the circles, who knows a lot more than us, why is it that our Banyana aren't celebrated the way that the Springboks are? Not necessarily to the extent of the Springboks, maybe even just to show some love to them.
I'll start by saying it's a very straightforward question with a straightforward answer. The fish rot from the top, from the herd. I'm going to say this now. I'm talking as a patriot. I'm taking off my journalist cap, but using a bit of what I've picked up. Let me tell you something. Today I spent the whole day with the Springboks. Since they arrived, all of that. I just got home like literally 2 hours ago. I got to go with the team from the hotel, from the terminals to the hotel. We had lunch with the team. Those who are catching late flights and all of that. So I saw how it's administered. It's administered. It's such a beautiful thing to see. I speak to the players on a casual level, but you cannot speak to a player and record whatever that is not said on the podium. You see the discipline there. Whereas we all know that right now there's a cricket World Cup that is playing in India, but it's not as big as the Rugby World Cup. Of course, the demographic. Rugby is for Afrikaners. Cricket is for the English. Literally. I'm just gonna bring in the race in this, and football is for all of us, your colours and your Turkeys and Indians. Count them out in South Africa. They all support Manchester United, although we've got Indians here at home, and they support cricket as well. Now, why am I saying all of this? Is because, Tina, we are not made to love our teams. The lady who just spoke, I think it was Clara. Yeah, she nailed it. That the way she summarized it. I mean, I'm going to tell you one thing. I travel with the teams. I travel with the team. Banyana, Bafana, Bafana, all of them. I travel with the teams. I can tell you, people at SAFA, they are there to steal salaries. They will not even conduct a single. Remember that as a fan, you are fed how to feel about a product.
Thank you, but thank you. I've been saying this, yes.
You are fed how to feel about the product.
Mm.
Right now, the images that we took today as journalists, they're going to trend for the next 4 or 5 years or whatever the life span that they will have. Because why? We were made to believe there's greatness in rugby. I've
Yes.
seen Sundowns winning. I went to Sundowns actually when they went and won ICAF. I was still a young journalist when Pirates were still 95, 96. I was still starting, like literally. Now I can tell you, that tells you why I'm closer to those guys about Dr. Kumalo, Mark Fish, and all of them, because those the age group when they were still playing, I was still a young journalist. So I can tell you now, until we change the administration at SAFA, and get people who will tell us that in football we love Banyana. They are us, we are them. I was at that game yesterday at the Orlando Stadium. I mean, even if it wasn't raining, there was not going to be people because people didn't know. One, you struggle to get an interview at SAFA.
Yes.
You want to talk about their game. I'm a journalist. I want to write an article. I want to put them on radio. I want to put them on TV. This one will say, no, go to that one. That one will say, no, I spoke the last time, go to that one. And as I tell you now, the communication at SAFA is going to struggle because 3 of the people from that department have just resigned. So it's a long haul. But Fetu, as much as I work with SAFA, I don't work for SAFA, I work with SAFA, but until we get a new administration in our football, and as a keeper, everything ADNA got Jordaan, all those who are with him, because now they still have the same Ungol, we're not going to go anywhere. Saru Baba, I was sitting with their president today. Hey, I'm telling you, I'm just actually posting some of those videos now, and others have had to switch off the sound because they contain information right for public consumption. I can tell you now, Saru is 20 years ahead of football. Netball South Africa is still small, young, but I can tell you, it's 5 years ahead of football administratively. Look at the euphoria that happened with the netball when it came to South Africa. Even now, they're still having the ripple effect of it. Netball is happening everywhere now. But what about football? The sport of the masses is the one that struggles. The girls at Banyana, you can name them your Khatani, your all of them. They are girls who are educated. One, number two, they've got good clubs that they play at. They've got good money that they make out there. But what do they get from SAFA? They fly themselves to come and play sometimes. And that's how sad it is. By the way, we'll get to it some other time when we talk, because I enjoy coming into your platform and just watch. But today you spoke about the matter that I was talking about on radio, to say we need to change the mindset of the management of our football before we change the management, the mindset of the fans. I can give you, just before I go, I can give you a typical example. Kaizer Chiefs, if in an ideal world, they should not be having any fans supporting them now.
Yeah.
Right? Sundowns would be the number one team that is supported. Yes, of course, they're growing their kids, their youth support. They are the fastest growing club now, Sundowns. Because why? Children love to see winners, right? Once you win, they all go to that club because they don't want to be mocked by their friends at school. You know? And now, Orlando Pirates is doing well with trophies sharp. But then if you can look at Kaizer Chiefs, their legacy, they're still riding that wave. And it's not only at SAFA where the management is wrong. At Kaizer Chiefs, the management is wrong. Is wrong. And I'm saying this, and I know when it gets to them, I'll be called in. But I'm saying this on this platform, that the management is wrong. There's no experience there. You cannot compare Fleming at Sundowns with Trotmulot at Sundowns. Mamel. Trotmulot at Sundowns. Fleming at Sundowns. Itandov at Sundowns. Those are seasoned administrators. They've done that before you and I were born. Now, look at Orlando Pirates. They've got Derek Blackensee. And I'm taking it background. They've got Screamer Shabalala, right?
Understand.
Those are two highly, Ufra just left, is fine. Those are two highly recognized and acknowledged administrators of football all over the country and some parts of the world and the continent. Who does Kaizer Chiefs have? You cannot put Kaizer Junior and Bobby Motaung in the same bracket. You see, and then every decision that is made at Chiefs, I'm bringing them in because the same problems that they have at Safa, the problems that they have at Chiefs, they are similar. You can't. There they have to deal with the fact of sister Lam, cousin Yam, because the family grows beyond your Kaizer, your Jessica, your Kemiso, your Bobby. You know what I mean? So it's a big topic, and I know when I talk about it, I get those calls. Some of those who follow me, they know I spoke about Sundowns the other day, the Zungu story. A Sundowns senior called me live on air, and I picked it up on air. You know, to say, Prati, you are killing us. You are revealing. You know, you need to say things and say, people must know. Just like Banyana, we need to support these girls. They are out there. They've done everything in their power to have the acknowledgement. It was an achievement for some of the people that Banyana was playing at Orlando Stadium. I said, nonsense. Actually, they should be playing at a packed FNB stadium, because Nati as fans, we're not told to love this team. We're not led to love this team. Now we need to change the script and love this team more than any other team, because that's a team that you can trust. They've gone to the continent. You know, I was in Morocco for 4 weeks with the WAFCON. They won it and brought it home. And I can tell you, outside our country, these girls are well praised. These girls are feared, not even respected. They're feared. But like what do we say? You know, we need to give respect to our own, so that even those who are led, let's have a situation where we say, it's the cart pulling the horse now. If our leadership doesn't want to go forward with us, we will drag them if they want to come. By the way, thank you so much for your time.
No stress, Prati, no stress. Whatever I can get you on. No, Prati, I understand you, because like, even from my side, I'm a content creator. Do you know how hard it is to find videos? Do you know how hard it is to find information about anything that has to do with South African football? And you want to do the things, and you want to do all that. I was telling somebody the other day that I can recite all 227 goals that Thierry Henry. I'm an Arsenal fan, right? But I can't even show you a video of Ama goals of Mbesuma, because they're just not available. You know?
Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing. Even teams don't have their material. It's all left to the archive of somebody there. The other day, the SBC was destroying the tapes without even converting them first. Even at multi-choice now, they lead because they've got archives of everything that they got when they started. Right? But as for the public broadcaster, they don't have. Even clubs, the most problem is that they do not own the footage, the rights to the footage. It's owned by the broadcaster. It's only a team like your Orlando Pirates now, where they've got Pirates TV, we've got your Sitting with Stan. They own that content. It's their content. But for me, I tell you, it's a nightmare. When you are far. For me, I'm working within my reputation and my stubbornness and everything else that I have gets me to go across and get a player if I want to talk to a player, an official if I want to talk to an official, because they know if you don't talk to him, he is going to make your life difficult. You know what I mean? So we need to make sure that we take our administrators to task. We need to do that.
I was saying, Pratemba, that's why I was saying, Kuti, I remember asking the question the other day that, do you love the Springboks because you understand the Springboks and you understand what it means that they win and you understand the game and you watch the game? Or do you watch it because it's inescapable? That you can't go anywhere without not seeing something that is Springboks, especially during a World Cup. And now you see Banyana, for example, even with the WAFCON win, I asked other people the other day, when last did you see Hilda Machaya's goal in the semi-finals, or them hoisting the trophy up. Those things are also very important. You know, the fact that I can't, even if I switch off my TV and I switch off my phone, checkers la pratemba. Mauye checkers, all of the cashiers, what call Springboks. Escolo in my kids' school, you get told that, guys, Friday is Bok Friday. You know, it's inescapable, but we don't do the same for Abo Banyana. And I know it's Abo Safa and SABC has a role in these things and the PR teams and all of that stuff. But I think we need to realize, even as fans, that these things are bigger than, you know, the example that I used the other day as well was, I've never watched a game of Brighton this season. I not one, but I know that De Zerbi is a very good coach. Then you ask, how do you know that he's a good coach? How did it get to you that you know he's a good coach and all of that stuff? And why isn't it being done? You know, Abo Mapimpi, Abo Siakolisi, their stories are all over the place, highly produced. You know, it pulls on the heartstrings, it does all of that stuff. Why don't we see those stories too? It all plays a part.
Did you see Roger Federer and Sia? That video has been playing through and through, where he presents Roger with the Springbok shirt. Roger this time, he went to the camp Yama Springbok. He had a pre-match meal with them. He stayed with them because they're friends with Sia. They're buddies. And he went and stayed with them. They gave him another shirt. And finally, he was rocking the Springbok shirt, the current one. What does it say about the way rugby is fed out there to the world? You know? And as much as we might be considered as a country somewhere in the jungle, but when it comes to how our rugby is administered, it's amazing, Chief. It's amazing. I can tell you now. Hence, I'm saying I don't want to bring race into this, but there's a lot we need to learn from the white folk. Minister says we don't need to discuss AMA bonuses or add anything. Saru decided AMA bonuses 4 years ago. After winning the last World Cup, they went on and said, this is a team that we will take. Coach, choose within this group of players. They are still fresh players. Now it's time to reconstruct the club, the squad now. You see others will fall by the wayside. But when it comes to the results on the field of play, we saw the experience. About 11 players were there 2019. They were there 2023. It could tell you that there's continuity.
Right?
4 years ago, yes.
There's a lot. I want to make this a proper topic, but it's just it's a sad situation, Pratem. It's a very sad situation.
I know I owe you a visit.
Yeah, you do, Pratem, but we'll talk about it.
Actually, I must take you to a football match and go sit in a suit and don't be on your platform for that particular match.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
We'll do that. That's my promise to you.
Okay, no. Thank you so much, Pratema. To have someone like you on here is amazing.
You know, I'm a big fan of your work.
Thank you, Pratema. Thank you. Yeah, no. So guys, yeah, that's part of the thing. Really, I don't know on your side. Nangu Pratemba has laid it down for us as somebody who works on that side, who sees these things. Uyibona njani now le ndaba Banyana?
Yeah, kancane if let me call uPratemba into order. Kame kancane ngamaswiti sibukela nawe ibhola la njalo no. Usukukhona la. Ame nje kancane ngamaswiti.
Nami ngifuna ukuyoda lapha, maybe ngizobuya ngishintshila ngazi.
Now uzobuya sewushaya esinye la ungasasazi manje mase siyakutshela ngama-fact sozositshela ngama-process and procedure.
Ufuna umkhipha stress, man. You know, he carries a lot, so I want to take him out. I love you guys.
Uzobe umncedile man brother bona ngeke ngambuze sekunzima manje ngazi ngabuthi endoda uthathile yini ngoba ne-chiefs kuphansi stress nangapho right but hayi uzobe umncedile.
No, just to take him out and forget about everything, anything or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no
Thank
man.
you so
OT,
much.
just to add on what Ubratemba have said. I think most of the guys there, they've already raised the issue of Safa Kakul. Because if you look at it even from Safa structures, from even Kuma region, and sometimes don't even know. Ngihlala ethembisa, you don't even know, like the region represents VSASF on your region who don't know. You know people who have played soccer, you know people who organize tournaments, like we know how much games are like, whether off season or whatever. But even those people, you won't even find them on any structures, none. It seems like Bavalelo, not like Abafune get all to be part of like the football fraternity or its structure. As long as Safa can be fixed. And remember, we've also emphasized the issue marketing and communication about brand yakho. As you've said, Springboks, they're out there. Whether you like it or not, you cannot ignore them. It's like advertising Coca-Cola. You know Coca-Cola is there and it's been there for how long, but they're still advertising even up until today. And you know how much does it cost to advertise on TV, especially for prime time. So
Ngiyayibona
it's one of
ku-TV. Ngiyayibona ku-TV.
yeah,
Coke goes so deep that mawuhambe
but second,
kasi. Usawukhumbula
yes, but
amaspaza shop we-Coke?
Jay, you see, that's why you should we are CIRs, it's there, but they are still even marketing it even up until today. Whether you like it or not, it's there in your face. So Safa Vera, you know why he is Kawata cool, and I just feel good, mina. It failed Banyana. This Banyana team should have been far if they've got proper support and proper structures and also the people who understand and also know the calendar of football. This weekend, if on a Black Label Cup, there is space there for a game to play. Whether it's Sunday or Saturday,
Yeah.
there is a space because there are 14 then. It means people who can see this, okay, this weekend, this tournament is playing, and this team is not there. This game, it came Friday, it came Saturday. If I come with 3 or 8 episodes, there is a space on 3 here. And if you can master even that, you are even able to go out to advertisers or to even to our broadcasters to sell that space and say, look, I can offer on this particular space. You normally used to play the match, but I can see there's no feature here. I can sell you this product here. Banyana game is playing against TRC Congo at that particular time. Then if you go to SAPC or you go to SuperSport even earlier, they even organize their marketing team so they can go out and sell that advertising space on that particular time. But already there is a product that they're going to put there. And which product is better than Banyana since they come from the World Cup and now they try to qualify for Olympics. That's the best product they could say. But it's just Safa needs people who knows. They don't think. I think most of Abalapa, they don't know. They're just there ukukumala and said, I'm representing this region. People who just come there to draw my salary and get the perks, everything. If they say there's a tournament like a qualification, then yibo bafuna ukuyestadium bayohlala emasutini and say they're representative yourself. That's what they know only. But they don't care about the soccer players who are there, like the soul bread, soccer and all. So, but yeah, if Safa can be fixed, I think most of the things will come all right, man.
Hey, Mina, I don't think this stuff is going to be fixed. As I think a lot of the onus is going to be on us. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't know of many platforms that have had this kind of conversation. You know, we need to start doing
Yeah,
those things, watching the girls, doing the like. Kumele basupportwe yithi, man. Ngoba at this point, it seems as though Safa ngeke be right, and they're not gonna care. And now,
yeah,
well, these girls were only put up because Safa wanted to win the 2027 bid for the Women's World Cup. They lost
yeah. It
it,
was the
but you know what I mean.
and,
Let me.
and then so my job ithi just last part mdaka baba ngiyazi isikhathi ngikhuluma kakhulu it's just into ezinjengalezi yangigwatisa and the support ye-football and it's mostly yabantu abamnyama and also nathi futhi ukuthi we also must take i-blame kokunye because we don't even participate ezintweni ezinjengalezi uyangithola to make sure people here they do have ideas. You can hear people when they talk here because they see what's happening and then they bring on valid point. It's just that people just need to combine and come up with a solid plan. For example, if I can just take you, Hotu, Bloemfontein Celtic, the biggest brand, is no longer there.
Yes.
But if supporters with Bloemfontein Celtic take, let's say, 10,000 rand, 10,000 of them, each contribute 50 rand, they would have contributed how much to the team while they were knowing it was struggling. But if that money and the contribute, you are not putting it to Umex Shabalala. You create sort of like a trust. You buy into Celtic as shares. Okay. Yes, we've contributed 20 million or 10 million. We want to buy 30% stake of this of our team as a trust. We are told it is young. As long as people participate or think, because if uzothi say there is ease of any lung nje out of nowhere, angeke so hlala sikhuluma kanje yoze kushona ilanga mntaka.
Yeah, cala nathi nisicontributele guys. Cala nathi nisicontributele 20 rand a month. We can do this. Nathi we've got bills to pay and things to do. Wena ngiyakwazi khona noXaru khona mina laba banye.
Sekushoda nje ukuthi ikhuphule nje kancane kodwa score.
Hey, kancane kakhulu. Man, it's fine. Thank you very much. It's for Utlare. Is it refreshing to hear from somebody who's behind the scenes? I think a lot of times I know with me, sometimes it's things that I see and I'm like, "Hi man, there's something wrong here." But to have somebody behind the scenes actually come out and tell us.
It is. It is. This afternoon, I was actually at work and I was thinking about what Velile just said, to say, you have so many ideas, and because you love the thing, and I think earlier on in the week we were talking about legacy, and we were saying that in as much as we can support rugby, we can never call it our legacy, right? And that's the unfortunate truth. So it is, but it adds to the frustration of the reality of the problems, right? And the fact that at some point, I don't know which idea will pull suffer, but now you find that there's a product that has to be sold, and it is the client that is forcing the supplier to sell the product. And so it's working in the reverse, which is like, it's so frustrating, because when you're an outsider and you're looking, most people will say, we didn't know they were playing. Okay, no, for some of us that are following closely, we post as much as is possible whenever matches come up, right? And then there'll be the next problem. Unfortunately, other problems will only be addressed by the association. But for as long as we can do as much as we can, I think we'll get somewhere. I mean, you were mentioning earlier the trophy lifting videos. I watch them almost every weekend, because like the frustration of the week builds up, and then during the weekend I'm like, okay, let me watch Banyana versus Moroka one more time, so that I'm able to survive another week. But we really have a fantastic team, and I think this team has been the dream team. I hope the momentum continues as others go into their retirement and new players come in. But then again, I was watching even yesterday's match, speaking to what Bratemba just said now, and I was listening to the commentators, and when they were talking about Bonabo Tembi Khatlan, I was like, is it possible for them to mention, like, hey guys, these people are authors, these people, Borifile, they own and they are founders of associations, of foundations that they're trying to push the game. They're trying to develop the game at grassroots level. So Banyana players are not just players on the pitch. They're really doing a lot of work, even off the pitch, that does not get the shine it deserves. Yeah, man, one day we'll get there, but until then, we keep working at it.
All I'm gonna say is that when it's Pork Friday, guys, kopa le apareng tsa bafana, kopa ha banyana idlalele lighting the TV, man, Komphela, please, guys, like, let's try advocate where we can. I know other things are out of our hands, but like, Banyana has a very good team, and Banyana has been representing us very well over the past few years, and for them to not get the love, like, I think everyone speaks about like yeah, they need to win and they need to do this. Here's a team that is on the way to winning. And I think part of the problem with us is that sisapota when something is already big. You know, the Springboks, there was a time they were struggling. There was a time where Siya Kolisi wasn't even wanted as captain. They were questioning him being even in the Springboks as a quota player. They went through very dark times, you know, but their core audience kept them going. And the sad part is that, yes, ISAF and SABC is taking us away from these people. But when you see Banyana going to World Cups, when you see Bafana going to AFCONs, yes, we might think of them as the Bafana of 10 years ago or 15 years ago or whatever, or Banyana of 15 years ago. But let's support, guys. Let's support. What do we have? What do you have to lose? I remember I was on a stream the one day and somebody here said, I'm not going to support women's football because what? And I asked the question, what do you have to lose? You can go be happy. Right? So guys, let's take some onus on ourselves, you know. What white people are very good at is they're good at galvanizing for their own, whether it's going well or whether it's going badly, right? By the time you guys knew about the Springboks, there's tons of work that has been done behind the scenes. They've been supported. I live in Pretoria. When the Springboks are playing, even Tri-Nations, I forgot the name, that was the change. Pretoria changes. When you go to the shops, it's all Springboks. Like all the white people come out at 3 to buy some supplies. Then they go back to go watch. And it's sad because when you look at the Springboks, yes, we support them and we love them. But for 80% of the year, you can't even access them. Right? So why don't we go and support Banyana? SABC Plus is free. As bad as SABC's broadcasting and marketing of the stuff is, it's free. Let's watch, let's support, you know, at least Lababa win. Banama trophy. Well, Bane trophy. Right? That's recent, last year. So let's support them, man. Let's learn about them. You know, we'll try our best as content creators, but guys, let's all find a way to really get behind our girls. The segment wasn't meant to take this long, but what I'll do is we'll discuss Ballon d'Or tomorrow. We'll speak about Messi and the whole system and whether it still works and whether it's still relevant. Lyrical Pope says rugby championship. Yes, the rugby championship. Like, guys, things just don't happen. Just before I go, things just don't happen. A lot of the time we look from the outside and we go, yes, yes. The way those guys support, the way those guys love, the way those guys do whatever. The example I always use is my son's school, right? You look at his school and you go, oh, no, these guys, there's apps, there's reminders, there's force this, there's that, they send you that, they do this. Like, they make sure that culture is maintained. They make sure that internally you cannot change whatever's happening and you will be forced to do the thing. So we need to start doing that with ourselves. We need to start creating situations where the culture of us watching football and doing these things come from us. And we remind each other and we watch with each other and we do all those things together. Whether it be Bafana, whether it be Banyana, under 23, whoever. Because those players are not the problem. The problem is up there. So let's support the people. Banyana is fighting so hard on this. Guys, yes, a lot of them do. They are playing overseas. Others are playing in Hollywood Bets, which is it's a semi-professional league. Some of them have 9-to-5 jobs. And they go out and they win continental competitions only to come back home and nobody knows, nobody cares, nobody says anything. You know, so guys, let's support.